Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Keno Thomas here with STEM with Keno.com. We're back here live. Trying to get my back screen set up here. Bear with me for a second as I make some adjustments. There we go. Much better. Volume down. All right. Let's see here. Get my screen up. Good. There we go. All right. Okay. Give me a second to get my screen up and we will get underway here. A couple minutes late. Just trying to get my message board up. Give me a second, guys and gals. And you guys can start sending your questions. I'll put the email on the message board. There we go. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Like, there's nothing wrong with the volume. Okay, got a couple people in the room already. Okay, see, yup, it's good. It's all good. Okay, what's all good? What is all good? Alrighty. Okay, you guys can start sending your questions to kenothomas@gmail.com. It's on the message board. The website is stemwithkeno.com. STEM. Okay, yeah. Yep, it's good. It's all good. Okay, good. All right, talking about the volume. I didn't have my big screen up yet and everything, so... Oh man, I almost forgot. I have a little remedy for the lighting issue. We'll see if this helps. Hold on, guys. I'm still here. I'm connected via Bluetooth, so you guys can still hear me even though I'm off screen right now. But it's nice because I'm not connected to any wires. And let's see here. Here we go. Let's see. I can't. No, I don't think that's helping. Oh, it's magnetic as well. Hopefully. No, that's weird. That light's going to be in my eye. I'm going to test this out next time because we don't need to be casting a shadow on the back. But if you guys can see the screen, I tried to get a little remedy. There's a little hang light I got to help out with the lighting because the screen I'm looking at, I mean, I can see the board. I'm looking at it right now. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty decent, but I was trying to get a little remedy for the light. This little cheap little, it's like a drop light or whatever, but, oh well, we'll put that to bed. I will use that for something else. Okay, so the screen is up, and I guess we'll go to the email and see if anybody sent questions. Again, welcome. It's downwithkino.com. I'm Kino Thomas, and this is our Military and Federal Aviation Administration Test Prep Hour. I'd like to give a shout out to a couple people. Tyler, he passed the aviation selection test battery. And a shout out to Dennis. You guys have seen Dennis and Tyler like the past couple weeks on the live stream, you know, shoot messages and everything and stuff. And they've been tutoring with me, and they have actually passed the test. They got some really pretty good scores, 51 and 59. I have congratulatory videos on my timeline because I can't really remember the score specifically, but I believe Dennis got a 59. And I think Tyler got a 51 or 53 or something like that. But if you clear 50, it's all good. Tyler, he took the full ASTB, and Dennis, he took the OAR. The OAR is just like the regular portion of the aviation selection test battery. But then you have aviation information, and then you have to take another special part if you're going to be in aviation, meaning aviator, naval flight officer. Dennis is seeking naval intelligence and stuff. So they both got really, really good scores. They've been tutoring with me, and they've actually passed. So, you know, just happy that I have a system that has results. It's getting people to pass. Again, if you're new to the channel, I tutor for all Federal Aviation Administration exams pertaining to pilots, private pilot all the way up to airline transport pilot. You need Skype, preferably download it on a laptop. What else was I going to say? Yeah. Other tests include the ASVAB, the Aviation or the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, the AFOQT, Armed Forces Officer Qualification Test, the SIFT, Standard Instrument for Flight Training. Did I miss anything? I'm in a new office, so I don't like the old office. I had, like, you know, all these papers up on the wall, and I could, like, have my little handy dandy notes. At any rate, what was I doing? I wasn't going to you. I was going to you. Send your questions. Like I always say, the best way to get the most out of this hour is to go through your book, your ASVAB, your AFOQT book, your SIFT book. Go through all the questions. And if you have any questions, put a check mark. if you don't understand something, or if you don't understand how they worked out the question, going there again. This is where you present it. You take your smartphone, you take a picture, and you send it to the email on the message board. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. We have more, but Tyler, he passed. Dennis, he passed. We have some other applicants that should be passing soon, and that's pretty much where we are, guys. If I can get to my email, that will be all good. And here we are. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, we do have a question in from Cody. Shout out to Cody. I saw him earlier today, and we had a really, really good session. One thing that I wanted to address was distance, rate, and time problems. I went through all the variations of distance, rate, and time problems, and you need to be familiar with all variants of distance, rate, and time problems. There's not really a specific way that they're labeled, but I've kind of categorized them. And then you have your standard distance, rate, and time, where you just plug and play with your distance, rate, and time. You have your compression or contraction. You have your expansion, and you have your delayed departure. So we were actually doing questions that actually covered like different, different types. It was a question that was more than just one type of distance, rate, and time question. It kind of hit a couple categories. The delayed departure, if I'm not mistaken, was there, and the expansion. So if you keep your format tight, and if you've been following my videos, watching my videos, how I execute distance, rate, and time problems, it's pretty much the same. You know, I hold my format and I don't deviate. And if you just watch my videos, you know, and hold the format that I hold, you're training yourself to process questions a certain way, because it's not only about answering math questions or science questions or mechanical comprehension questions. It's about problem solving. You need to be effective at problem solving. And, you know, that's where we are. So, let's jump in. If the weight of water is 62.4 pounds per cubic foot, all right, 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. All right, so we have 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. The weight of water, it fills a rectangular container 6 inches by 6 inches by 1 foot, is, and the answers are 3.9 pounds, 7.8 pounds, 15.6 pounds, 31.2 pounds, and 62.4 pounds. Now, I just, I do these from the hip. I solve probably about 95% to, 98% of them. And every now and then I will get snagged, especially when I've had a long day like today. I started at like 9:30 this morning, and, so I was booked pretty much all day long. So I'm a little worn, but we'll get through this hour. Okay. So the question states that the weight of water is 62.4 pounds. Let's get that in there. Pounds per cubic foot. So what does that mean? A cubic foot. 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot. If we had a cube, 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot, and we filled it with water, it would be 62.4 pounds. Some people write pounds like this, or some people put it like that, the pound sign. It really doesn't matter as long as you know what it means. Okay, so the weight of water is 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. We have a rectangular container that's 6 by 6 by 1 foot. So the volume of a cube or rectangular container is length times width times height. So all three numbers are going to be multiplied, but it would be 6 by 6 by, and this is inches. And I think I might leave it in inches. On second thought, what I would do, I won't say 6 inches. I will say 0.5, which is a half a foot, times 0.5, which is another half a foot, times 1 foot. All right. So we're dealing with pounds per cubic foot. So we want to leave the units in feet. So this is a half a foot, 0.5. This is another half a foot, 0.5, times 1 foot. So let's do our math on the side here. 0.5 times 0.5. That will give us 25.25. All right. Because we have 2 decimal places. We come over 1, 2. Now, 1, it will just be 1. Now that's interesting, but we'll roll with that. 0.5 times 0.5 times 1 foot is 0.25. Okay, so 0.25. Now, if this is the amount of cubic feet in our rectangular situation, and we fill it with water, then it should be 62.4 times 0.25, which is the cubic feet, and 20, 10, 12, 31, 0, 8, 4, 12. And let's see if anything's looking like, now we got a 0.9, a 7.8, a 15.6, a 31.2, and a 62.4. None of that's looking like that. 10, 5, no 5 in the answer. Okay, not even close. So Cody, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do some research on this question. And I will put it in the next live stream. Because if we got the weight of water, 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. The weight of the water that fills a rectangular container is 6 by 6 by 1 foot. So 6 inches is a half a foot. Times 6 inches times 1. Now, there's another thing I could do. 6 times 6 times 12. 36. We just leave it in inches and then convert it back. Maybe that may help. Because that 1 kind of threw us for a loop. So 36 times 12. That's, yeah. 12, 7, 0, 3, 6, 2, 13, 4, 32 cubic inches. All right. If we divide that by 12, that should give us cubic feet. Yeah. All right, 12, 432. 2 is too much. No, 24. 3, give us 36. 3, 36. 3, 13, 72. 6, 36 cubic feet. Now let's multiply 62.4, but any decimals, no decimals. All right, 62.4 and 36 should be 36 cubic feet. 24, 12, 14, 37, 0, 12, 7, 18, 4, 6, 14, 12, 124. No. All right. That's not working either. Okay, so I will do some research on this question. And we'll try to put it in the next live stream, but I thank you. 15.5 could be rounded up. No. And feel free to plug in your input, because I just, and I've been doing math problems since 9 o'clock this morning. So I could just be off a little bit. 15.6. But where'd your... Oh, hold up. I did not account. Well, 1, 2, 3, 15.5. Let me go back to the question. Yes, Charlie, we found it. So there was nothing wrong with that. 0.5, which is a half, 0.5, which is a half, and then 1 gave us 0.25 cubic feet. We multiplied that, 0.25. I didn't account, so yeah, I'm a little fatigued. So, but good job backing me up on that. All right, 15.6. Check the back of your book for the answer, but it should be 15.6. Okay. Well, we got it. No need to do research. Okay, that's good. And like I said, I tell my people all the time, look, I'm a good problem solver. I don't know everything, and I don't always solve every question. And I do make mistakes, but I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I don't care about a mistake, because I know I put in the work, and most of the questions I get right. But, a little fatigue wears you out. And this is DVRable, so if you didn't get that, you can check it out later or roll it back. So what I'll do every week is, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to do a distance, rate, and time problem. But it'll be a variation of all the different types you can get while testing. So the first one I'll do right now, if I don't have any questions. And I don't have an additional question just yet, so I will do a distance, rate, and time problem. And I'm going to try to keep it a little interesting where, wrong page, distance, rate, time, all right. All right. I'll put this on the timeline so you guys can see it. and I'll read it aloud for people that aren't here that watch this video later. And here we go. Okay. An aircraft carrier made a trip to Guam and back. The trip there took 3 hours and the trip back took 4 hours. It averaged 6 kilometers per hour on a return trip. Find the average speed of the trip there. So, I always diagram. So, we'll start here. We'll go to Guam. And I'll just, on your scrap paper, just draw a line. All right. So, an aircraft carrier made a trip to Guam. I'll indicate an arrow there and back. I'll have an arrow indicating there. So, the top side of this line from point A to point B represents the trip there and then the trip back. And in here, I'll write DRT, because for each leg of the trip going there and coming back, there's a distance, there's a rate, and there's a time. And if we find 2, we can get the third piece of the puzzle. So what do we have? The trip there took 3 hours and 4 hours back. So the trip there, the top side, 3 hours, and the trip back is 4 hours. All right. And they told us that on the trip back, the ship averaged 6 kilometers per hour. So for this leg, we have 2 parts. If point A to point B is the distance, then 6 times 4 is 24 kilometers to 4 kilometers. So now we have that information based on the 2 known pieces of information. So if the trip from here to here is 24 kilometers, then the trip from here to here is 24 kilometers. And we can also plug it in the top. And then, if we have 2 pieces of information, we can find the third piece of the puzzle. Rate is equal to distance divided by time. And so 24 divided by 3 is 8. So that is our answer. All right. The question asks us, find the average speed of the trip there. And on the trip there, the average speed is 3 hours. Okay. So just to not necessarily recap, but just to kind of give you an idea, I drew my line, I diagrammed the starting point to Guam. I showed an arrow going in this direction and then an arrow going in this direction. So on the top line is a trip there. On the bottom line, below the line is a trip back. And they gave us 2 pertinent pieces of information to find the third. Distance equals rate times time. The rate times time, 6 times 4 equals 24. So we understood that if the trip going out is 24, or coming back is 24, the trip going out to Guam had to be 24 kilometers. And so 24 divided by 3, 8 kilometers per hour. That is the average speed of the ship or aircraft carrier. Okay, so that is our distance, rate, and time problem for the day. Going to the email. And I had a couple interesting questions. And people in the room, let's talk about mechanical comprehension and a couple questions you could possibly find. And I just remembered something I wanted to do also to show you guys how you can handle certain questions. We had let me just find it. Cody, you're in the room. What page were some of these questions on and the number? Just type it on the timeline. And he picked out some interesting things that he could not understand in the book. And I believe, I thought it was 589. Can't find it. At any rate, we had a question, and I can't remember the question to recite it verbatim, but it was kind of asking. Oh yeah, I was talking about a woman. She drove on a trip or whatever, and I was showing them ways that you could kind of subtract time. For instance, let's say we have an amount of fuel in a airplane, 5 hours and 22 minutes of fuel. All right, that's how much fuel we have, and that's the time it's going to take us to burn all that fuel up. Let's just say it's 5 hours and 22 minutes. Well, let's say we do a trip and we want to know how much fuel we have remaining, and they tell you that you have flown for 2 hours and 39 minutes. Okay, now you want to subtract this time from 5 hours and 22 minutes, but 39 cannot be taken from 22. So what I would do is, instead of looking at this as 5 hours and 22 minutes, I would look at it as 4 hours and 82 minutes. So what we've done is we've taken an hour or 60 minutes away from this, made it a 4, and put the 60 minutes here. 60 minutes plus 22 is 82. And if you write it out like that, instead of this, if you write here 4 hours, 82 minutes, then all you have to do is just directly subtract. All right, so 4:43, 2 hours and 43 minutes. So you can manipulate pounds, ounces like that or whatever. But if you started out with 5 hours and 22 minutes of fuel and you flew for 2 hours and 39 minutes, this is pretty much the easiest way to come to the answer. Okay. Good stuff. All right, I'm flipping back and forth. But this is the gist of what you guys need to be able to do. And you have to be able to do it rapidly. The worst thing you could do is just get hung up on a question and just kind of, you want to keep moving. You want to move at a steady pace, and you want to answer as many questions as you can, so you get a really nice, strong score and get the job you want. Here's another time problem where you can kind of work it out. All right, so I'll read it aloud. Econo Air Flight 1776 is scheduled for departure at 3:50 p.m. So this plane's going to leave. It's scheduled to depart at 3:50 p.m. And what the question is asking us, if the flight takes 2 hours and 55 minutes. So this is the departure time. And I'll put flight. I know I'm spelling it wrong. Flight time. And the flight takes 2 hours and 55 minutes. 2 hours, 55 minutes. That would drive you nuts, wouldn't it? Because you're sitting there 50 and 55, and Oh man, there's no such thing as 105 minutes. Or we're subtracting actually, so that could be a pain in the butt. But no, you're really not subtracting. What you're doing is just adding the time. So 3:50 p.m. this airplane leaves. The flight time is 2 hours and 55 minutes. All right. What time is it scheduled to arrive at its airport? So what I did with this is I looked at this 3:50 p.m. Instead of adding 2 hours and 55 minutes, add 3 hours and then take away 5 minutes. And it's the same thing. So if we add 3 hours, that will put us at 6:50. And then we take the 5 minutes back because we added too much. We added 3 hours, so we have to take our 5 back out. And so the answer is 6:45 p.m. is when that plane is scheduled to land at its destination airport. So I thought that was pretty cool, how you can just kind of manipulate time in your favor. Oh, here's another one, a proportion. And you guys will see these type of questions on the test, so watch and learn. I'll read the question aloud. 2 partners operate a business that shows a profit for the year equal to $63,000. So 2 partners, they own a business and $63,000 is a profit for the year. Now their partnership agreement calls for them to share the profits in the ratio of 5 to 4. What that means is the ratio 5 to 4 is that one of the partners, so let's say A and B, one of the partners gets 5 for every 4, I guess, shares of the company or stocks or dollar amounts or whatever. So the question then asks us how much of the profits should go to the partner who gets the larger share. So partner A gets the 5 part of the ratio, partner B gets the 4 part. What we have to understand is that there are 9 parts. This is 9 parts. All right. There's 9 parts. So what we do is we take the 63,000, we divide by 9. Divided by 9, and we should get $7,000 per part. That means partner A gets 5 parts of $7,000 and partner B gets 4 parts of $7,000. So partner A will get $35,000 and partner B will get $28,000 of the profit. Now, what you have to do to check your work is you take the 28 plus 35 and you make sure that it equals 63, and then you know you've arrived at the right answer. So here we go. I'll watch my little delay. There's a little time delay. So after I talk, I kind of see myself still yeah, you take 63 and you do this and all this and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So really good questions. Okay. Excuse me. I'm very tired. My brain's been going. I didn't have the live stream last week, so I just made an extra special effort to make sure I was here for you guys that need me. Here's a mechanical comprehension question. Let's see. At least I'm not like tired like that one night. Oh my God. I was like literally falling asleep. Like during the live stream, I went hard. I would think I went like for like a day and a half straight. Things had backed up on me and people had test dates coming up and I had to really go hard. Okay. Gears. Let's say we have a gear with 75 teeth. I'll put a T. And then we have a smaller gear with 25 teeth. Alright, so you don't see actual teeth. That would be poking up like that if it was a gear. The first thing we have to do is we have to notice the number of teeth. 75 teeth in the bigger gear and then 25 teeth in the smaller gear. So what you have to do is kind of look at the ratio. The ratio is pretty much 3. This is 3 times bigger than that. So it's like triple because 75 divided by 25, that's how you get your number. 75, larger gear, number of teeth in the gear, 75, and that's divided by 25, and we don't need that T in there. The tips have the length, a little eraser thing. All right. So 75 divided by 25 is 3. Now, what the heck does that mean? It means that for every one turn that this gear does, this one has to do 3. All right. So you will get questions like, okay, this gear B, rotated 25 times. Well, no, I don't want to use that number because it's too close to the number of the teeth. It rotated 50 times. The larger gear rotated 50 times. If this has spun 3 times as much, then this means that this will rotate 150 times. And that is our answer. So it would be presented like, okay, gear A has 75 teeth, gear B is intermission with gear A. And it will just make that, like a little side note. But, and I'll say, if the gear A rotates 10 times, how many times will the little one do it? So if this rotates 3 times 3, this will rotate 30. If this rotates like, 20 times, this will rotate 60 times. So the smaller gear has to work 3 times as fast. We know it's 3 times as fast by dividing the number of teeth in the larger gear by the number of teeth in the smaller gear. Okay. Room. How many classes are in? How many classes of levers are there? There's a certain number of classes. Type it in on the board. Little crowd participation. And I understand there's a lag. So don't be shy. Nobody knows? Nobody knows. Somebody knows. You need to shave. Okay. There are 3 classes of lever systems. Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. Right. There are 2 basic types of electrical circuits. What are they? Does anybody know? I'll give you guys a second. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. I'm just tired. I've been up since 9:30, and I'm probably not gonna do a Google Hangout. I'm just gonna let you guys know now. I'm pretty much done. I'm wiped out. Okay, there are 2 types of electrical circuits, basic and basic electricity, series and parallel. In the series circuit, electricity only has one path to flow. In the parallel, it has more than one path, or it branches off somewhere. Let me give you an example. Typically, when you are learning about electrical conductors and circuits and all that good stuff, you're going to be introduced to 2 types of circuits. So you'll have a situation where you'll have the battery, or power source, I should say. And maybe you might have like a switch. And maybe you might have a light bulb. And the switch turns the light bulb on and off. So it's in an open state now. We close the switch, and that is synonymous to you going in your living room and turning on the light. So this is a series circuit. There's only one electric path for electricity to flow. Now, let's take that out. And then maybe so we still have our power source, but now we have more than one path for electricity to flow. All right, so that's the parallel. And note, they're parallel branches. All right. 9:54 according to my clock. All right. There's really not much we're going to get done in 5 minutes in terms of a question. So I'll go ahead and close here. Now, nobody really checked in. I mean, I see Cody. Cody, Andres, yeah, those are the guys who are active. I mean, there are people in the room, but there just weren't people active. So, again, I will see you guys next week. I'm really tired. I'm not going to do the Google Hangout tonight. 9:30. We're past 12 hours now. And my bed is calling me. Next week, we probably will do it. Maybe I'll even do it a little bit longer to kind of give you guys a little break. But, normally I'm not this tired. Normally I don't start at like 9:30 in the morning. But if you need help with the ASVAB, SIF, AFOQT, ASTBE, or OAR, or any Federal Aviation Administration tests as it pertains to pilots, please give me a call at stemwithkino.com. Somebody put it. What time do you usually go live? 9 o'clock. It's an hour, so 9 to 10. Did you do math today? Yes, I did do some math, a little bit, talked a little bit about mechanical. Caroline, you came in late. Maria, where have you been? Oh my God. I hope you're studying. Okay, but it's good to see you. Anyway, I miss you more. I miss you more. Good. Yeah, I started at 9:30 today, this morning. So I'm not going to do the Google Hangout. I'm really tired. And I'm going to just listen to my body and watch a little TV, or the TV's going to be watching me. Okay, let's study. Let's set up an appointment. Okay, you just send me a message on Skype when you want to plug in, but the only thing I really have is late Friday evening. We're on the same time zone, so I mean, we could do it Wednesday as late as like after 9 o'clock. And yeah, pretty much a lot of these holes are booked. But that's like the opening I see for you right away, right now. Wednesday, 9 o'clock. So we can get you back on the saddle and get this thing done. So that's it, guys. Sorry I'm so wiped out and tired, but hey, it is what it is. There's a lot's been going on the last couple of weeks, moving. There's a lot with that. I hate moving. But I'm here. I only have a couple pieces left. Later, yo. Later, yo. Okay, so like Andrea says, later, yo. Hey, you guys be good. If you guys need one-on-one tutoring, stemwithkeno.com is my website. Check it out. See you guys later. And Maria, let me know. And Andrea says, haha. But I like that. Later, yo. All right, so later, yo. Good night. Bang.